I'm Taylor and I'm a freshman here at Eastern Illinois University. Right now we're in the middle of the before and after campaign, which is if you've seen the words before and after written around campus, this is what it's for. As being a member of this project, I made a shirt and it has two words on it. One is my before word, abjuration, and the other one is my after word, adjuration. And the before word is meant to describe what our life was like before we came to know Christ, and then the afterword is what our life has been like since we've come to know Christ. For me, it's been a little different. I was raised a Christian. I grew up as a Lutheran, going to church and Sunday school, but I consider my the break between the two to be where I decided that I'm going to be a committed Christian who has Christianity be a part of my daily life. Whereas before in high school, middle school, and earlier, I was a Christian on Sundays, and then the rest of the week I was just a normal kid. I didn't really think about it much. And so now I have, it's much more prevalent in my life. So that's where I consider to be the difference in mine. My before word is abjuration, and it comes from the word abjure, and it means to renounce or reject with a lot of force. And a lot of the ways that I dealt with things in high school was to kind of not deal with problems. I was one of those kids who was, highly overachieving. I had very high expectations of myself. I did not accept, not doing well in something. I was in a lot of activities, so I was very much under pressure, mostly from myself. And I tried to deal with that pressure and help other people at the same time, but I didn't really want anyone to help me. I was not really willing to say that I was weak and that I needed help. I wanted to, put on this face for a lot of people and state that I don't need help. Least of all, I don't need God's help. If someone had said, do you want me to pray for anything? Or have you tried taking your problem to God? I would have been like, God's for those big things, like when, someone dies, or when, your whole life feels like it's falling apart. Like when you have your little daily problems, that's not, God's too busy for that. It's not really, it's not how I'm gonna handle it. And it seemed weak of me to be like, I've got a really hard test, and pray to God, be like, test is really important to me. That just seemed kind of silly. No, I need to be a stronger person, than I shouldn't be asking for help all the time. And since I've gotten to college, there's been a big change. I'm not really with people I'm familiar with, and I don't have, that group of friends where we're all having the same exact experiences, and we're all having the same exact classes and the same exact activities, so we can kind of, just rant together and not really deal with our problems. But since I've come here, I've realized that, there's a lot of things I can't handle by myself. And realizing that as God has become, more prevalent in my life, I realized that there's a reason he's so, has become such a big part of my life this year. And then my second word is adjuration, and it comes from the word adjure, and it means to solemnly request. And I realized this year that that's what, even though I struggle with it, that's what I need to be doing. I need to be, asking God, can you help me with this? And praising him, and just having him be a bigger part of my life, and requesting that he be a bigger part of my life, and requesting his help. And even though I still struggle with, the high expectations I have for myself, that, I should be Superwoman. I don't need help. I can take care of myself. I'm a strong person. I don't need anything. But I realized that, I do. And as hard as it is to admit that, even though I want to be Superwoman, I want to be perfect for everyone, that's not plausible. I mean, I'm a human. I make human mistakes. I have flaws. I sin all the time. So it's realizing that I need to ask God, and that I've seen what, the effects of asking God, and that I've seen just so many ways in which I have gotten better at handling things than I used to, because I used to just kind of shut it out. I didn't really address problems when I had them, and it would have a really negative effect on my life, both physically and with relationships, and just seeing how negative that was, and then seeing now how, even though I still struggle with it, I can't say that I'm anywhere near where I'd like to be. But as far as realizing that taking the little problems to God doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong enough to be asking. So that's why now, Abjuration, I'm asking. So that's my testimony. Thank you.